From atheism to astrophysics, from evolution to economics, from comparative religion to cults, from philosophy to politics, a voice of reason in our confused world and beacon of truth and hope in this age of uncertainty. Welcome to God and Science Foundation with physician, teacher, and evangelist Dr. Paul Katupali. Dr. Paul's teaching helps you understand the vital issues affecting our world from a biblical worldview. For today's lecture, here is Dr. Paul.
This is Geronami. Thank you very much for tuning to our channel today. Tonight I want to speak a few minutes about the textbook controversy going on in Texas. It is a conflict between liberals on one hand and conservatives on the other hand. And it's about what should we put into our curriculum. You see, the Texas is the largest state in the contiguous United States, and it is the second largest U.S. state by population. So it is naturally the second largest textbook buyer in the entire country. So the fight has ensued, and it is about what should we teach. The secular left on one hand says that Christianity has no role in the foundation of the United States. The right says that Christian morals are the foundation of the United States. Now, John Adams, the signer of the Declaration of Independence, one of the two signers of the Bill of Rights, and second president of the United States. So John Adams, he said these words, I quote, "The general principles on which the fathers achieved independence were the principles of Christianity. I also avow that I then believed and now believe that those general principles of Christianity are as eternal and immutable as the existence and attributes of God." Note these words. The general principles on which the fathers achieved independence were the general principles of Christianity. Those are the words of John Adams. He also said, I quote, "The Christian religion is above all the religions that ever existed in ancient or modern times is the religion of wisdom, virtue, equity, and humanity." Those are the words of John Adams. He also said, "I have examined all religions, and the result is that the Bible is the best book in the world." Congress in 1854 made this statement, I quote, "The great, vital, and conservative element in our system is the belief of our people in the pure doctrines and the divine truths of the gospel of Jesus Christ." Those are the words by Congress in 1854. Now what about Benjamin Franklin? There is a big fight about Benjamin Franklin. Scientist, diplomat, governor of Pennsylvania, signer of the Declaration of Independence. The left says Benjamin Franklin was a secular Enlightenment thinker. But see these words. These are the words Benjamin Franklin wrote for himself as eulogy, and they are engraved on his tomb. He said, "The body of Benjamin Franklin, printer, like the cover of an old book, its contents torn out and stripped of its lettering and gilding, lies here, food for worms. Yet the work itself shall not be lost, for it will, as he believed, appear once more in a new and more beautiful edition, corrected and amended by the author." You see, folks, I never heard an atheist writing such an eulogy for himself. Here is Benjamin Franklin referring to the resurrection of his body because of Lord Jesus Christ, the author of life. So you can judge by those words what kind of a man Benjamin Franklin was. Benjamin Rush, signer of the Declaration of Independence, father of American medicine. He was also the Surgeon General of the Continental Army, the father of the public schools, under the Constitution. So Benjamin Rush, a great founding father, he said these words: "The greatest discoveries in science have been made by Christian philosophers, and there is the most knowledge in those countries where there is the most Christianity." So those are the words of Benjamin Rush. So all the founders of modern science works start from Isaac Newton, Leibniz, Copernicus, Galileo, Tycho Brahe, Kepler, James Clerk Maxwell, Michael Faraday, Joule, Georges Cuvier, Gregor Mendel. The list is endless. They were devout Christians influenced by Judeo-Christian worldview who founded the modern science. But public education today portrays Christianity and science as at loggerheads with each other. Think about George Washington, the first president of the United States of America, the father of the nation. He said these words, I quote, "You do well to wish to learn our arts and our ways of life, and above all, the religion of Jesus Christ. These will make you a greater and happier people than you are." So the religion of Jesus Christ makes you happier people and greater people. That's why it's not surprising that George Washington started the tradition of keeping the Bible, hand over the Bible, while taking the oath in the inauguration of the President of the United States. He started that that practice. Now secular left hates this. They radically revisioned this history, and they are ramming their secularism down the throats of school children through complete control over curriculum. Where have we come? Who is Thomas Jefferson? And it's a fight. Was he a deist or a Christian? He said these words, "I am a Christian in the only sense in which Jesus wished anyone to be, sincerely attached to his doctrines in preference to all others." So Thomas Jefferson said that he adhered to the beliefs of Jesus Christ. Now you might say, Geronami, didn't you hear about Thomas Jefferson who coined the phrase separation of church and state? Now let me make this clear to you folks. The phrase separation of church and state is not in the United States Constitution. Thomas Jefferson, he used that phrase in a letter he wrote to the Danbury Baptist Association in 1802. You see, the founders of the United States were very intelligent people. They saw what happened in Europe, in European history. They saw what happened between state-supported Catholic Church and Martin Luther. You see, Martin Luther started Reformation. He expressed his own views of faith, and that started a bitter conflict in Europe. Now, the point here is not that whose theology is right, Pope's or Martin Luther's. It's about the freedom of speech, freedom of religion. The same thing happened with the state-controlled Anglican Church. It started to oppress people. And who are the Pilgrim Fathers? They are the people who left England and came to the United States. They were Calvinists who came with the Geneva Bible, because what Anglican Church was doing in England was not consistent with what they believed in the scriptures. So the state-controlled church in the Catholic Church in Europe, or the state-controlled Anglican Church in England, it abused power. That's what the founding fathers saw. They wanted to avoid that in the United States of America. That's why they started this separation of church and state. Their intention was to put freedom of speech in place. That's why Thomas Jefferson wrote that edicts of religious freedom in Virginia. And he was criticized for that. But the secular left has dishonestly portrayed their separation of church and state for the advancement of their secular socialist agenda. The separation of church is there, but there is no separation of faith and politics. You see, folks, if we remove Bible from the classroom, let me tell you one thing. A generation ago, children used it to see 10 commandments, one of which said, "Thou shalt not kill." But today we are living in an age where school shootings are becoming rampant. Children are killing each other. And we wonder what is happening. Because we lost those Christian principles in our classrooms. What Texas is doing, I am proud of it. And everywhere across this great nation, Christians should join the boards of education and bring the similar change into our classrooms. And that will bring a bright future for the United States of America. Thank you very much.